Town Talk tonight brings Pembroke's Town Administrator Ed Thorne to our set. Welcome, Ed.
Julie, always a pleasure.
Pleasure to have you. Now, town meeting has wrapped up again for the fall, and a couple things have come out of the meeting. So why don't you go into what we're going to do next?
Yeah, the appropriations for several projects were passed, and so those are things that we were going to be working on. The first one that comes to mind is the Route 14 corridor project. There are 3 drainage projects that will be done in association with that. That project is worth about $120,000, and that'll be in conjunction with the overall $8 million project. And that hopefully we'll bid it out in the spring, and a bid award, and construction could start about a year from now on Barker Street and Center Street, as we know them in Pembroke.
Okay. So, Barker and Center is the first location of that.
That's correct.
Okay. There's other locations that we're having drainage issues on?
Up at Pembroke High School, we discovered that we had some surface water runoff problems, and it was due to a detention basin that wasn't built large enough to handle all of the surface water that's up at the high school with the turf field and all the other amenities that we have up there. So we've engineered a project preliminarily, and we're going to be bidding it out to the tune of about $385,000 for the actual construction of the detention basin up there at the high school.
Okay, and this is just now that we realize this? I mean, the high school's been there for quite a while.
Yeah, the work was done 10 years ago, but obviously they didn't think that there was going to be that much runoff up there. And it's a high point in that area.
Right.
So obviously anything that's up at the high school, the turf field and all the other ball fields that are up there will certainly run off downhill as water goes.
Right. And there's another furnace pond?
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting project because we looked at dredging Furnace Pond about 7 years ago.
What happened with that?
Well, we didn't have a place to put the stuff that we take out of the pond.
Oh, all right.
So that turned out to be very important, and that's why the price tag was in excess of $20 million.
Oops.
So, and the reason we're dredging the pond is that as the pond slowly fills up with sediment, it starts to choke the life out of the marine and plant life that's in the pond.
Right.
And also, Furnace Pond happens to be the passageway for the herring to get to Oldham Pond to spawn. So it's a very important body of water in town. And when we purchased the property last spring across Mattakesett Street, so we can pipe the stuff under Mattakesett Street to dry out on a 10-acre site that we purchased a year ago, then that'll allow us to, kind of finish the project and hopefully lower the price tag down to a more manageable $4 to $5 million, we think.
Great, and again, we'll bid that in the spring.
That's correct.
Okay, and community preservation projects in our last minute?
Yeah, we have a couple of projects on historical buildings in the center of town, and also we have five recreational facility projects that were funded as well, ranging from $2,000 to $7,000.
Great, and you can tell us all about those next time that you're on set?
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for joining.